Okay, first things first. This is not clickbait or rage bait. I genuinely think that Generations are the best tin whistles that you can get. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jason Rouse. I'm normally talking about pipes, but I occasionally talk about other aspects of Irish traditional music, and today I'm going to be talking about tin whistles and why Generations are my favourite whistles. And I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot with this, because as soon as I explain everything and tell you all about it, it's probably going to put the price up on these and come and bite me. I sometimes do tin whistle bits and pieces on this channel as well, and I did a video on how to tweak your tin whistle, so how to get the most out of a sort of cheap-ish tin whistle. And one of the things I didn't mention on that is there's actually two different types of generation whistles. So you have your standard generation tin whistle, which you can go into the shop and just pick one up off the shelf. So like this one that I used in the video, I think it was this one of them that I used in the video. They're very, very simple. Just pick them up, a couple of little tweaks, bit of blue tack, mess around with the head a little bit, and you get like a nice plain whistle. And there's also a different type of generation whistle, which some of you might know about, but I don't think a lot of people know about them because they still can be picked up for relatively cheap so far. And yeah, apologies in advance if this puts the price up and everything, but more people should know about this because it's actually a fantastic way to get a beautiful playing sounding tin whistle. And those of you who don't know, I am in fact talking about the older style of generation whistles. I'm not sure exactly when they switched over, but the general consensus seems to be somewhere between around the 70s and around the 80s. I'm slightly inclined to think that it was a little bit later, and I'll maybe explain why in a second. But they have a much sweeter sound, better tuning, easier blowing, just everything that you'd want from a sort of like a standard tin whistle, really. And yeah, I'm a big fan of these older models, and I'll tell you a little bit about how to spot them and everything as well. And it goes without saying, with any kind of instrument, you want to use your own sort of personal judgment on this as well. There's no like one magic tin whistle that's like absolutely fantastic. They're all different types of you know, generation whistles as well out there. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones, but when you get a good one, and it's one of the older ones, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I've got a massive love for generation tin whistles. They were pretty much all you could get whenever I was growing up in Ireland. And I just really love the sound. It's like the quintessential tin whistle sound, you know? It's that sort of beautiful, like sharp shrill, but with like a little sort of bird tweeting kind of sound up in the upper octaves. So it's like nice little harmonics, everything like that. It's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm thinking about what a tin whistle should sound like. And a lot of that is down to how it was used on a lot of recordings in the old days. You know, when you think back to stuff like, I don't know, like the Mary Berrigan album, like it's even got like one of these on the front cover. I mean, come on, how much more do you need? Or when I think about like Mick O'Russell's playing, or Willie Clancy, or whatever, you know, or even like the Bothy band recordings, you know, that sort of thing. They all have that very distinctive generation tin whistle kind of sound. And I've talked about this album on my channel before, but this is the Tin Whistles album, which is just a fantastic record, fantastic LP. Paddy Maloney, Sean Potts from the Chieftains. And on the front cover, it looks like they're playing sort of modified generation tin whistles. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of that sort of sound, you know, the sound of the 70s. And do I have one more? Yeah, just this one here, I suppose. This is just another random album from the 70s, and we've got like it's Finbar McLaughlin who's a piper, but you can see a nice set of Finbar's pipes on there, but he's also got his old generation tin whistle on there. So they're a great instrument, and they're a specific sound from a specific time in Irish music, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I like them so much. But not only that, they sound great, they play beautifully, they play easily, and they're relatively easy to come by as well, relatively cheap, and these older models do show up now and again. My interest was really first piqued in this whenever I was in a charity shop nearby and I come across a tin whistle and picked it up. It's a bit chewed, a bit manky looking. It was like a pound or something like that, so I took it home, give it a clean out. Why not? It's just worth the risk, right? And it was actually fantastic. I was very, very impressed with how it sounded, and it made me look into it. And I noticed a couple of things about it that were different from what I would normally get in a Generation tin whistle. Like different tonally, but also different visually. Like it looked different. And I did a bit of research, did a bit of digging, and I come up with the conclusion that this was one of the older models that they don't really make anymore. And it led me down like a long rabbit hole of just going through and seeing how many of these that I could get, and trying all different types, different models and different keys and everything. And yeah, it really led me along the line to think that these older generation models are actually just really fantastic tin whistles. And yeah, they are pretty easy to come by. I see one or two on eBay, maybe once a month or twice a month, but I also find them out and about. Like this is one I got recently, and it's even still got the tag on it. It's still got the tag.
Still got the old tagger on it, so you've never even played it?
£3 from Dorothy House. I picked this one up in Bath. It's a bit battered, a bit bruised, but yeah, a C tin whistle, one of the older ones, older models. Yeah, so you can still find them out in the wild as well. If you've got a keen eye and you know what you're looking for, you can pick them up for ridiculously cheap. Yeah, check like cardboard sales and stuff. And maybe the weirdest one I ever found was in it's probably still there. There was like a little pub in Doolin, and they had one in the window, and it was a G tin whistle, one of the older models, and it was covered in like cobwebs and spiders, and made like a lovely home in there and everything. But I really wanted this tin whistle, and I asked them, oh my god, how much can I have this tin whistle for? And they're like, oh no, it's not for sale, it's just for part of the show to have in the window to get people in. And I'm like, oh, I really want this one because I haven't got like an old G one. And I've also found ones like people selling like new old stock. So if you go into like tin whistles aren't massively popular. I'm living in the UK at the minute, and tin whistles aren't massively popular over here. So sometimes I'll go into shops and have a look through their tin whistle box, and they do occasionally have older ones in there as well. So keep looking, see what you can find. And if all else fails, just keep an eye on eBay. They do show up from time to time, but now that this video goes out, as you know, maybe you might end up paying more, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. So how do they sound? Well, they sound just like you'd expect. They sound like what a tin whistle is supposed to sound like. And this is what I like about them. This is, this one's an E flat, and I've got all kinds of ranges. Apparently the C is the nicest one, but when you think about like a lot of sort of records that come out in the 70s, 80s, everyone was like tuning up everything, and everything was like a little pitch, a pitch up, in the E flat. So maybe I'll start with this one and just give you a bit of an idea. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, lovely, sweet, shrill, rich, tonally, easy blowing, nice differentiation between the pressure and the volume in the octaves. Yeah. Yes, that's more like it. You know what, let's try this C one. So this one could be good, could be bad. Charity shop find, still got the tag. Yeah, pitch it in the key of C. Yeah, haven't changed this one around at all, haven't modified it, I haven't done any of the tweaks that I would usually do for my older videos. Just sounds great, just sounds great. All right, now this one is a B flat. Let's have a listen to the B flat, because you think Generation, you think B flat, right? Yeah, this one's great. And yeah, I'll tell you the story after. I'll play a little bit first and then I'll tell the story afterwards. this is how I actually got into the realizing that I had like a really cool old tin whistle. So yeah, like I was saying at the start, the generation whistles are pretty much all you could get. And whenever I was a kid, there's another piper that I grew up with, and we had the same teacher, and we had to do a gig together. Actually, I think we were playing a mass, which tends to happen a lot.
Careful now.
And I was playing with this, my friend Chris McMullen. You might know me as a YouTube channel. Lovely piper, great fella. And we were doing a thing where we were playing the same tune, but with like an F whistle and a B flat whistle. And I had to go out and buy a B flat whistle to play along, so we can get this like beautiful little harmony thing going on. Got a B flat tin whistle from a local music shop back in Ireland, and it was one of the older ones, but I didn't know at the time. I just thought that it was a really good tin whistle. I was like, oh my god, this B flat tin whistle, so lovely to play, you know, very easy on the air, easy on the ears. Yeah, just really, really beautiful. And I only realized years and years later, whenever I'd find out about what these tin whistle heads were, what the difference was in between them, that it was one of the older ones. So there you go. Why don't I finish up with this one? This is the most common one you're going to find out in the wild. This is a D tin whistle, and probably what most people were playing in the old days. Yeah, I even actually had a chance to play Willie Clancy's old D generation last year, and yeah, what a mind-blowing experience that was. Anyway, yeah. This is a D generation. Yeah, a lot of fun to play. Absolutely cracker little instrument for, I don't know, what did I pay for this one? £1? Yeah. Now let's just have a wee look at like how to even like identify these. So how do you know you've got gold? Alright, I guess we're back on the desk for this one. Yeah, I hope you like tin whistles. Actually, this is not one. Some random miscellaneous heads as well. We can go here. Okay, so we've got some really weird tin whistles. Some of these are old, some of these are new. How to spot the difference then? Let's have a wee look. Yeah, so some are modified, some are not. These are just some random ones that I picked up from around the drawer or whatever. And yes, so this is an older one, and it actually looks pristine condition. Really, really good condition. Hard to beat that. And how can you tell it's an older one? Well, it's all in the head, and maybe I'll use the B flat one to explain this because it's kind of more obvious on a bigger one. There's two things you want to look out for. One is a line that runs through the middle of the beak. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's like a little line, there we go, cutting down the middle part of the molding process. And then on the back, you have a little nub here where it's actually been, where the plastic has been injected into it, and that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, just an old tin whistle. There you are. You can see it a bit more prominently in this one actually. Yeah, so you got a line going down the beak, and then on the back you've got your mold injection point here as well. And if you can spot those, then you know you've got a decent, well, actually, it might not be decent. It might still be terrible. But you know you've got yourself an older generation, pre-70s, pre-80s, whatever it is. Delicious. And just to give you an example, this is a modern one. You can see no line. It's perfectly smooth here. And there's no injection at the bottom. So they've improved how they make them. It looks less rough. But they haven't improved the sound, which is the most important thing, I guess, with any instrument. And just to compare these, so side by side, you can see that the actual design of them is different as well. Whatever they've done on this one makes it sound better. Perhaps it's this extra enlarged bump here, Maybe they've done that to like improve it somehow over the years. I don't know, different design. Those are two tea whistles here in front of you. And yeah, little line down the middle. Yeah, excuse the bite marks, they weren't me. Give them a clean if you get any of these older ones, because you know, you don't know what's been put through them. Yeah, perhaps we should just do like a quick comparison between the different whistles here. And yeah, the first one I'll play is the new one off the shelf, Generation D tin whistle. It's not bad. It's a good whistle. Yeah, this one's been unmodified actually. So this is, like I said, off the shelf. Bam. That's what you might get. And then an older one. This one's unmodified as well actually. Yeah, but it's just an older model. Beautiful harmonics on there, nothing really like crazy in terms of like pressure or playing or anything like that. It's lovely to play, lovely sound. This one's good, but it's missing that, I don't know, 20-25% sparkle that the other one has. Makes it a really different whistle to play. Really nice sound on this one. I've played loads of tin whistles. Like I've been through the ringer. I've played loads. I've listened to loads. I've played loads of the aluminium ones with the really loud volume and really heavy pressure. I played loads and loads of Copelands. Like a friend of mine, he's got Copelands coming out of his ears, and I've got nice Johnson tin whistle in D. It's lovely. None of these have the same sound. You know, none of these sound like what a tin whistle is supposed to sound like to me, you know? They all have their different characteristics. I'm not saying they're bad or good or one's better than the other. They're all lovely instruments and, you know, all different price ranges or whatever. But the nice thing about the Generation tin whistle, especially the old ones, this is what I think about. This is the sound that's in my head when I think about what a tin whistle should be. And that's why I think they're the best ones that you can get. All right, if you enjoyed the video, please do the usual YouTube stuff. You know, hit me a like, hit me a subscribe, leave me a comment. Do you enjoy the whistles? Do you enjoy the whistlings? Have you got an old one of these rattling around in a drawer somewhere? Let me know. Stick a message in the comments. It all helps with the channel, helps with the engagement, I guess. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you all again soon. We'll do some more videos. Take it easy.